This is BTV, profiling innovative companies on national TV and financial portals. With host Taylor Tone.
Hello, I'm Taylor Tone, and welcome to BTV Business Television. Well, today we're going to check out 5 small caps on 3 continents that I hope will pique your interest. Feel free to get excited, but keep the following advice in mind.
Do your homework and understand what you're truly investing in, especially if they're more prone to high volatility.
These days, most of the chatter around the cannabis industry in Canada has been focused on what the adult recreational market is going to look like when legalization occurs in 2018. Meanwhile, the growth of the medical cannabis market continues to accelerate. That's certainly the case for companies like CannTrust. What will it take to ensure their continued success?
I think some of the trends that we're seeing in the medical cannabis space right now is continued capacity expansion. Right now I think that the medical landscape is still somewhat supply constrained, and I think that's a function of much faster patient growth than what was previously projected.
CannTrust VP of Operations, Randy Danu, is understandably proud of the company's ability to keep up with customer demand.
What we've been able to do out of this facility in Vaughan is quite remarkable. Out of 50,000 square feet, we've been able to supply 30,000 customers. Our patient base has gone from 2,000 to 30,000 in a little over a year and a half.
Based on what they've experienced so far, increasing growing capacity incrementally was not an option.
We have over 200,000 square feet that's just come online in Niagara. We have an additional 200,000 square feet coming online early 2018. And then we have designs for an additional 600,000 square feet throughout 2018 that will put us over 1 million square feet.
At the heart of the company's success is a reliable supply of their product. Dr. Michael Ravensdale, VP of Production Quality, explains that their e-commerce shelf is always fully stocked, thanks to the perpetual harvest technique.
This is taking production operational efficiencies from existing flower industry and marrying them with the biosecurity and sanitation practices that you find in food greenhouses. And so what we've done is we have a light deprivation greenhouse, which allows us to control photoperiod and flower all year round. So marijuana is being produced and harvested on a weekly basis. This stands in contrast to the older style of cultivation where marijuana is being produced and cultivated maybe 5 times a year. We're able to have a very low cost of goods by having a high productivity and efficient operation.
Along with a reliable supply of cannabis, CannTrust is focused on the consistent quality and potency of the product, what they refer to as the pharmaceutical standardization of cannabis.
The goal is to be able to provide a cannabinoid-based medicine that is identical to all of the other medicines that people already consume. So for example, when one purchases a package of aspirin, it's 250 milligrams of ASA, and that's the same every time that you purchase that at a pharmacy. One of the challenges in the cannabis industry, and this is both for doctors and consumers, is the variability of the products that are being sold. At CannTrust, our labels never change. Our products are always the same cannabinoid content across dry products and for our oil products. And this allows for the pharmaceuticalization of cannabis-based medicines.
Acceptance of cannabis therapy continues to grow worldwide. That's why CannTrust has partnered with Apotex, a leading global generic drug manufacturer. The combination of cannabis and pharma expertise will hasten the development of new dosage formats and products.
The shared knowledge that we have between the companies, it's enormous and it's groundbreaking for us. But it's not just Canada. To be able to formulate a DIN that is acceptable in 115 countries potentially around the world where Apotex currently does business, that to us is the next steps. Today, you're buying it through mail order. The future, well, you see it's store shelves with a DIN, or it's behind the pharmacy desk and it's covered by your drug plan.
CannTrust believes that we're going to be positioned as the leader in medical cannabis production, not only in Canada, but worldwide.
The company recently received government approval to export to countries where medical cannabis is already legal. Shipping to Australia has begun. CanTrust expects that shipments to Germany, Denmark, and Brazil are not far behind. Coming up next, lithium, a major ingredient in electric vehicle batteries, with one company on the fast track to production. And later, coming from someone with over 25 years in the business, this statement certainly caught my attention.
This is the most exciting gold project or discovery I've ever seen.
This is BTV.
Welcome back to BTV. Well, there's a good chance that someday you'll be driving an EV, an electric vehicle. By some estimates, 10% of all new car sales in the U.S. in 2025 will be EVs. In some countries, that figure will be much higher. And all of those EVs need batteries, lithium batteries. Good news for Advantage Lithium. Company president and CEO David Sadu offers his perspective on this growing demand.
The demand for lithium is increasing primarily because of emerging countries like China and India saying that within the next year and a half to 2 years, 10% of the vehicles on the road need to be electric vehicles. And what that's doing is forcing companies like General Motors and Ford to really think about how quickly they can advance their technology and bring electric vehicles into the market. And to power those, you need lithium. And you've seen the prices just skyrocket in the last 24 to 36 months. If you can become a near-term producer, show that you have the technical team, the financing, and the knowledge to bring that product to market, you're rewarded in the marketplace for that.
Mining analyst Gerardo Del Real is impressed with what he sees.
They have a management team that has experience with lithium in Argentina and through all phases from exploration all the way to production. And those are advantages that I think will give Advantage a clear leg up on the rest of the juniors in the space looking to become lithium developers and explorers and producers eventually.
Advantage Lithium has several projects in Argentina. Their flagship asset is Cauchari, and as far as David Sadu is concerned, it's in a great location.
The infrastructure's there. You've got power, you've got roads, and you've got real closeology. We've got two big developments on each side of us. One development company, SQM and Lithium Americas, that's building a $400 million facility, and we're also next to our partner, or Cobre, who are the first independent producer that's come out of Argentina in many, many years. So they have knowledge, they have community relationships and government relationships that we're able to leverage off of. And most importantly, we were able to take their exploration team that helped them build Olaroz and build that resource to work with Advantage full-time.
If Advantage is able to replicate the success of their partner, Ora Cobre, they know some of the credit will go to their host, Argentina.
We're advancing quite rapidly there, and Argentina is moving along with all the exploration companies as well. They're very open to new investment coming in. That's evidenced by the 17 permits that we were able to obtain for Cauchari Basin. Lithium could be a major industry for Argentina, so they're encouraging exploration companies like ourselves.
And a recent drilling program in the previously unexplored northwest sector of their property has produced some very encouraging results.
We've completed our drill results. They've been very positive. We're hoping to continue doing our scoping study, do more pumping tests, build a larger resource number, and then by 2019, we're hoping for a permitted project and an offtake agreement of some kind with a major company.
If they do take Cauchari into production, Advantage is considering 3 options to bring their product to market.
We're able to bring lithium to the market by either building a pipeline to our partner's facility at Olaroz. We could build a small processing facility where we can process the brine and ship it to China, and they could refine it in their facilities. Or if the resource is big enough, we could build our own standalone facility.
David Sadu is confident that Advantage Lithium has all the pieces in place.
We can actually get the brine into the marketplace much quicker, I think, than any other junior out there. We've got a very strong group of technical people that have brought other projects to the marketplace. We've got the financing, and we've got some really good assets, and you need a little bit of luck. My wife always tells me not to use that word, but you got to have a little bit of luck.
Luck aside, confirmation of high-grade lithium content in recent drilling samples is more good news for Advantage Lithium. After the break, a copper company that wants you to bet on them, and a digital gaming company that's launching an entirely new way of betting.
It's like taking a 1980s cell phone and now giving you an iPhone 10. The possibilities are endless with the product.
And later, someone who's okay with betting on an obsession.
Obsession, fine. The way I look at it is, if you're going to go out and explore for something, you might as well look for something big.
This is BTV.
Welcome back to BTV. Well, with copper prices continuing to rise, so has the interest in copper producers. Base metal mining analyst Stefan Uwano brings us the latest installment in the story of a copper mine located just 300 kilometers east of Vancouver, Copper Mountain Mining.
The Copper Mountain story is underpinned by an established mine that's operating well in a safe jurisdiction. The mine got off to a slow start in 2011, however fast forward to 2014 and the installation of a secondary crusher has clearly addressed throughput issues. The mine now, with a nameplate capacity of 35,000 tons a day, is actually operating north of 40,000 tons a day.
And when you tally up the annual output of this 24/7 operation, the result is impressive.
We produce about 80 million pounds of copper per year, about 30,000 ounces of gold, and about 300,000 ounces of silver, such that our copper equivalent is about 103 million pounds per year.
Fluctuations in the commodities market have a particularly significant impact on the Copper Mountain balance sheet.
I think a key investment point regarding the Copper Mountain story is that it's a low-grade, relatively high-cost mine, which translates into a leverage profile. For example, small changes in the copper price on a percentage basis translate into significant changes on a financial metrics, things like earnings per share and cash flow per share.
That's why the current market trend is very good news for Copper Mountain.
Base metals have had a significant rally year to date, especially through Q3. Copper continues to test the $3 per pound mark, zinc testing $1.40. At these prices, we still foresee metal companies making good profit margins going forward.
With the strategy of extending the life of the mine, the company began a major exploration drilling program this past summer.
We anticipate this exploration potential will garner market attention over time, noting a 10,000 meter exploration program is currently underway to test Copper Mountain at depth. Previous drilling has returned thick intercepts of high-grade mineralization, locally grading 3 times Copper Mountain's current reserve grade.
The company's commitment to the organic growth of the mine appears to be counter to what Stefan Uwano is seeing in the rest of the industry.
We remain bullish on the medium to longer term outlook for copper, as a lack of investment by the industry stands to create a supply deficit going forward.
Standing still is not an option for CEO Jim O'Rourke.
Now that we have a mature mine, we will be looking at merger acquisitions or opportunities that would be accretive to our shareholders.
In addition to the recent drill program in the company's active pit area, exploration of another nearby deposit that is within their 18,000-acre claim area has already provided Copper Mountain with some very positive results. When you're talking about casinos, disruptive isn't usually a word you want to hear. But that's the best way to describe Jackpot Blitz, the electronic table game platform recently launched by Jackpot Digital. Though they built their Poker Pro system into an industry leader in digital poker, Jackpot Digital wanted to raise the stakes. It looks like that's exactly what Jackpot Blitz is going to do.
Jackpot Blitz is a one-of-a-kind product right now. It is basically a giant 84-inch iPad table where players can congregate around the table and play all sorts of games, whether against each other or against the house.
With the wide array of casino gaming options that Jackpot Blitz offers, this might be the rare instance when both the house and the players are winners.
You play different games while you're playing another game or sitting out a game. For instance, many poker players, when they're sitting out a hand, they have nothing to do. And if you go to a poker room, many of them are on an iPad playing online poker So what we did was we said, let's not have them play on another site. Instead of poker, they can play blackjack, baccarat, bet on horses, bet on sports, order food, and it's like taking a 1980s cell phone and now giving you an iPhone 10. The possibilities are endless with the product.
And the opportunity for company growth is equally compelling. Sam McWhirter, data analyst for Tormont Group, explains.
There is no reason why Jackpot Blitz cannot be in every cruise ship and casino around the world. Jackpot Blitz will continue to revolutionize a growing segment in the gaming space.
The technological issues weren't the biggest challenge. The tricky part was making sure that playing Jackpot Blitz would feel even more like a traditional casino experience than anything else currently on the market.
What we wanted to do was simulate a real-life experience for the player, and we were able to do that on the digital format. That's the biggest problem electronic table games have had in the past, whether it was poker or other casino games, was it was very cold. You just felt you're playing a computer. Here you're feeling that you're actually at a casino. Of course, you're playing with other people without a dealer. However, you feel like you've got a real deck of cards, real chips, and everything of the gameplay feels live.
Kalpakian and his team tapped into feedback from their existing Poker Pro customers to help develop this new product.
Our current customers have played a key role because their players have basically been voicing what they would like to see to improve the product, and we've taken their input and translated that out on the new product.
Beyond customers like Carnival Cruise Lines, Woodbine Racetrack in Toronto, and the largest land-based casinos, Kalpakian identifies another cohort of customers that will be looking at Jackpot Blitz.
There are many small and medium-sized venues that can't afford to put in place a poker staff, and we're getting many of those inquiries. Sometimes there's no game and they don't want to pay a dealer to be on standby. This is a product that allows for an establishment to offer the game without having to go out of its way or have any financial liability. The table will be there. If there's no poker that night, you can turn that into a blackjack table or a roulette table.
Not only does the company have a sense of how Jackpot Blitz will evolve in casino gaming, they see other potential applications.
I see a future for this product where it's not just gaming, but there will be many other general universal applications where it has nothing to do with gaming, but people interacting socially on a one-on-one basis.
Over the years, Kalpakian has been successfully involved in many advances in electronic gaming, and there's no question he's still quite happy to step up to the table and play.
It's the innovation and the creativity that I'm most proud of, and the fact that we're constantly reinventing ourselves.
Even before it was on the market, Jackpot Blitz was shortlisted for a 2017 Global Gaming Award. As the buzz continues to build, so does the interest from more and more casinos in this latest innovation from Jackpot Digital. Coming up next, digging up gold down under.
Many people dismissed that there was even potential to find another deposit like those in South Africa. Now, I'm a believer.
This is BTV.
Welcome back to BTV. Gold exploration is all about you finding the gold. But once in a while, the gold finds you. For the past 6 years, Novo Resources has been advancing Beaton's Creek, a promising gold project in Western Australia, when something else caught the attention of Chairman and President Quentin Henney. What could possibly be so compelling to a geologist who's been in the business for over 25 years? Well, they call it the Karratha Gold Project.
Karratha hit our radar roughly a year ago. There were a couple of gentlemen who worked on a civil works project nearby. They happened to look down on the ground and noticed a few gold nuggets in some crushed rock that had been freshly laid down. And they thought, that's interesting, let's go trace this back. So they actually followed back up the highway to find the source and proceeded to metal detect this thing. They found 300 ounces in the first 2 days.
When Quentin got wind of this discovery, he had a hunch and did some investigating.
I got confirmation that the gold that was being found was indeed being derived from conglomerates. and they were of the age that we were targeting. You know, they're part of this, what we call Fortescue Basin, which is the Witwatersrand analog that we've been examining in the Pilbara.
Witwatersrand is the area in South Africa where roughly 1/3 of all the gold produced in human history has come from. Quinton Henne has long believed that another Witwatersrand was out there in Australia. Novo has staked out 7,000 square kilometers of mineral rights in the Karratha region. Other land deals Novo has struck bring its total land holdings to about 10,000 square kilometers.
This is the most exciting gold project or discovery I've ever seen. We've had numerous people out on site. We've had analysts, various geologists from mining companies, investors. And when you walk up and see this thing, you kind of point out that there's this horizon, and you look down both ways and you think, gee, you can see all these little holes that people have dug looking for nuggets. You really get the sense that it could be something big. It really sets in when you consider that the beds are dipping into the basin away from you. And you think, gee, if this thing continues down into the ground, it could be really big.
Just how big is still unknown. Novo has had various site visits to let other geologists and analysts have a look and draw their own conclusions.
Our visit to site and the preliminary results that we're seeing from Novo suggest that that significant discovery is very possible. We think the stock is pricing in a 10 to 20 million ounce discovery depending on a number of factors. I would caution though it is very early days, and now the management team is focused over the next few months on generating the data to back up the valuation.
I can't make any promises, but the geology is certainly enticing. It's enticing enough that about a month ago we got a placement from Kirkland Lake Gold. They came to site in mid-August, I believe it was, and they fell in love with the project. They basically bought 14 million shares for $56 million. I think a testament in itself to the potential.
Core drilling and trenching has begun at Karratha. The company is pursuing a very aggressive plan to advance the project.
Our anticipation is to try to advance the work that we need to do in terms of gathering information for permitting at the same time as we do our exploration work. That way we can move things forward reasonably fast. In all expectations, I would say 2 to 3 years is the absolute soonest that you would see any production. The challenge we're going to have is quantifying the grade of the gold in this deposit. 6 months, 12 months, at least, just to get an initial resource together.
The potential of this discovery makes it difficult, even for an experienced geologist, to temper his enthusiasm.
It's almost like finding the Holy Grail in some respects. Many people dismissed that there was even potential to find another deposit like those in South Africa. Now, I'm a believer, personally. I think that this one is pretty compelling. We have a lot of work to do to prove it. But I can't think of another project that's more interesting to work on.
The latest results from trenching activity have revealed the presence of fine-grained gold. If you're interested in a video tour of the Karratha Trench, you can check out the link on the company's homepage. It's at novoresources.com. Gold, copper, lithium, cannabis, and an electric gaming table. We looked at 5 very different companies with one thing in common. Each one is an opportunity, a chance to participate in the potential success of a small cap. Thanks for joining us today. For BTV, I'm Taylor Tone. Until next time, may your portfolio prosper.